Why Kid wants to kill Shanks. How did Shanks become a Yonko? In order for Blackbeard to become a Yonko, he had to defeat Wang Ji, the owner of Beehive Island and former ROX member. Luffy had to take out Kaido as well, and Buggy replaced Big Mom despite not having anything to do with her defeat. So how did Shanks get it? Well, I think it was due to the defeat of Captain John. John was a former ROX member. We can tell by the Marines' reaction that John was a great pirate in leagues with the Yonko. I feel Shiki Silver's John and Wang Ji were probably Yonko tier themselves, but for some reason they never became Yonko. Shiki was the closest, but his defeat to First Roger in Ed War and second to Garp at Marineford cost him. Wang Ji probably was content on Beehive Island and was in a position where he stayed there, and the Marines never went after him due to the risk. Until the Rocky Port incident, Silver's axe probably went into hiding or something. But what happened to John? We saw he was dead in Thriller Bark and was killed by his own crew. Now what I find odd is that his body is covered in bandages that existed before his fatal injuries. Now if he was anywhere near Yonko Tier 1, can't see his crew killing him. In comparison, Kaido would wipe the floor with King, Queen and Jack. Maybe they would cause severe injuries if they teamed up, but he would destroy them. Big Mom would flatten Katakuri, Cracker and Smoothie. Whitebeard would kill his commanders. Beckman and Zoro are the only ones I see on equal or near equal footing to their emperor boss. So for John to be killed by his crew feels off. However, if he was already injured, then maybe. So this is what I'm thinking. John was making moves 6 or 8 years ago and came into conflict with the Red Hair Pirates. Shanks fought John and defeated him, leaving him injured and gain enough credibility to become a Yonko. Maybe John was a Yonko, or maybe back then there was only 3, so then Sanko. Anyway, John was known for his greed and cruelty, so in his weakened state straight after a defeated, his crew saw an opportunity and mutinied, killing him for good, and somehow Moria and Hogback got his body to make a zombie. Now how does Kid fit in this? Well, a popular theory is Kid is the son of John. Kid is based off of William Kidd, who was also a son of a pirate named John. Kid and John also share the same epithet, Captain. So what could Kid be? John. Kid. His grandson? Either way, it seems Kid has it out for Shanks and Buggy. When Kid was arguing with Luffy about him becoming a Yonko, while he didn't, he stopped and claimed that out of all of them, the one that really gets under his skin is Buggy. Now that is odd. From Kid's perspective, he knows Luffy. They both, along with Law, defeated emperors, and yes, Kid and Law was 2 version 1, but Luffy wasn't fighting alone either, he just more or less tagged in and out. Anyway, Kid by all means should be focusing his anger to Luffy. So why is Buggy becoming a Yonko, the one that has him the most annoyed? I mean, Kid doesn't know Buggy power is just for show, and he's been failing up this entire time. He should believe the hype. Now, the only thing I can think of that connects Kid and Buggy is their dislike of Shanks. Buggy hates Shanks because he startled him, making him eat a DF and drop a map into the sea, and because Shanks kind of just has this irritating personality where he doesn't take Buggy seriously. The only other thing that may connect them is Captain John. John may be a father or grandfather to Kid, and Buggy is after John legendary treasure. Captain John was first mentioned when Buggy was randomly on some island with a skull digging for it. So if Kid is John's kid, perhaps they both had a run-in looking for the treasure, got into a fight, and Buggy, being Buggy, got lucky and escaped, leaving Kid frustrated and angry at the waste of time. Now Kid grew up on an island in the South Blue that was not part of the world government, and he grew up in poverty, eventually leading his own gang and taking over the island to set up out to sea. Maybe he was close to John, or maybe he hated John, who was a cruel father, and his dream was to go out to sea and prove himself as a better pirate than John, kind of like Ace and Roger. Kid actually shares some qualities with Ace. Both are originally from the South. Blue and would have been the same age if Ace wasn't carried for 20 months or was dead. Both are knotheads who can't take an insult and resort to violence. Both also bring out Luffy's competitive side. Ace grew up in Goa Kingdom, but he grew up in a bandit hideout and spent most of his time in the Grey Terminal or jungle. So while Ace never really became a gang leader himself, he is connected to a gang life like Kid. Ace resented his father Roger and left to create a bigger legacy than his. Eventually he went after Whitebeard, who was the closest to Roger's title, so if Ace beat Whitebeard, then that would bring him closer to Roger's legacy. Similar, Kid could have gone to sea in hopes of gaining enough power to eventually kill John, however he received news that Shanks defeated him, and in his weakened state his crew turned on him, killing him. Now Kid wants to fight Shanks as a means of proving he is the better pirate than John, and perhaps he believes Shanks has information on where John's treasure is. He did tell Buggy he did, but that was a lie. Or was it?